The thin red line is forming, ready to meet the old guard's attack. And there's Wellington, poor old guard.
And then Napoleon retreats now. And now Napoleon...
Meanwhile, the Prussians are beginning to arrive. Raise the black flags, my children. What does Blucher say, Marshal Blucher, this guy? What does he say? I will shoot the first man. I'll shoot any man I see with pity in him. Yeah, this lot come.
And the American Revolution Cavalry also.
Yeah, they're like the 7th Cavalry, aren't they?
Yeah, the American Revolution.
Yeah, they are. French Cavalry. I mean, these are supposed to be Prussians, but of course, yeah, right. They're a bit like the 7th Cavalry.
No, they're not. They're actually the Union Cavalry.
They are the Union, but they're a bit like the 7th Cavalry for Wellington.
The Union Cavalry basically is the 7th Cavalry, isn't it? It's quite like.
Unfortunately for the for some of the Dutch and the Belgians, some of the Prussians thought that
How about these
due
people?
to the blue uniforms of the Dutch, etc., they got and speaking French, they got mistaken for
But let's not make them get killed right now.
no.
Because all
They got mistaken, didn't they?
because we haven't got infantry, we've only got blue.
They got mistaken for French, and so the Prussians actually, and the Dutch and Belgians were actually fighting each other. I don't know how much of that went on, but
It might have happened.
and then as for the Scots, some of the Scots who only spoke Scottish Gaelic lost their officers, and as they didn't speak any French, they only spoke Scottish Gaelic.
But
They couldn't be told what to do.
that was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, here come the Prussians.
And also some of the Union Cavalry are helping as well, look, I think.
Okay. Oh, wow.
These people are... It's like the French coming over there.
Oh, okay. Alright, you do.
No, let's just put a
Only
few...
15,000 at some bridge.
Pretend this might be the bridge or something. But then, Daddy, I'm just going to get some of these French here. Just a few.
Here's some of the cuirassiers who survived the attack on the British squares,
Daddy, look, here's some...
which have now
here's Grouchy.
formed up into lines, hiding in the
Grouchy's
cornfields.
Daddy, Grouchy.
Now, Maitland, now!
Daddy, did you know this?
And then, oh yeah, well, and here's a bit of...
Grouchy.
Oh,
a
was
bit
that?
of Grouchy.
What was his name, the French guy?
Grouchy.
And was it Girard? Was he with Marshal
Yeah.
Girard? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They were in charge of about a third of Napoleon's army.
All of the infantry are now here. Look how much there is anyway.
Yeah, because actually Wellington did say that, didn't he? I want everybody here! Here! I can't quite remember what he said in the film, but something like, here, he said.
Yeah, you
I
said
want everybody here, every brigade, every regiment, here!
Yeah, he said that.
He did recognise that the charge of the old guard was going to be pretty horrific.
So he didn't.
And actually, they marched more in a column, didn't they, rather than in a straight line?
Yeah, but I tried to make it like a column.
A bit.
I started the next line though.
Do you want to do it like a column and see what that looks like?
Okay, yeah. This person.
Do it more like a column. Yeah, that's right. And we think the reason why a column was good was that if the infantry, while attacking, were attacked by cavalry, they could quickly form a great big square. Is that right, Ollie?
Yeah, I expect.
Because a big danger, because it seems madness to all advance in a column, but the muskets were only really accurate.
Cavalry haven't even got back yet.
No, well, they don't really do much else really in a battle.
No,
do they?
but Daddy, these go.
That we know
Maybe they
about.
can go in this area here. I'm just putting them in this area.
And a lot of them had been massacred anyway by Ney's continued cavalry charges against the squares.
No, but pretend they continue cavalry charges.
Right.
Yeah, but we can't do that over and over again. It's just going to take the whole day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, they're sort of back anyway over there.
Pretend they're sort of back.
I suspect they're all pretty exhausted and feeling pretty sorry for themselves as well, because most of their friends have been left lying in the mud. Mind you, they said that the British squares suffered horrendous casualties as well, with artillery fire bursting into the squares. And some of these chaps, I suppose, here, who had been in the squares, are now fighting the advancing old guard.
You can see guard if you want to. Oh, I thought
Anyway,
it was not
a lot of them get massacred of the old guard, and then they realise the Prussians are coming, and they begin to retreat.
And also, and then.
And that's when somebody says to Napoleon, he's come back here in the film. They say, "The old guard has broken," and then the camera goes down onto Napoleon, doesn't it? The old guard has broken.
And he goes really like this. He has it's like this.
The old guard has broken.
You know that he has a really.
He realises then. I think he realises then he's had it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Right. And really, then what happens is all the.
British
That's
advance.
really the end of the battle. The British advance.
No, shall we do that bit?
Mm.
And then let's do all of the French retreating kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll have
And
to
then-
retreat them off the table. Where shall we retreat them to, Ollie?
Just-
Only a few form a square.
Oh, that's the old guard anyway. Because they realise that the Union cavalry is coming, and then they. No, but that didn't actually happen. The Union
Wasn't it? Well, they're actually Prussians, the Union cavalry, in this film.
No, but in this film they're Prussians. Yeah. Shaking.
And what's left of the Scots Greys? I think they go in chase, don't they?
No, I expect they stay there.
And then the French get expelled from Le Haye Saint.
Expelled, like getting
Napoleon's
expelled.
men.
Getting expelled from the school.
Off they come. Here they go, running out there. Let's go. Yeah, he's going to jump back on his horse. Escape as fast as he can. And the British move in. And the Germans have probably moved back in again. Brunswickers and from Nassau.
Maybe they've already.
From Hanover, wherever. And some rifles, they were very instrumental
I think, in attacking the old guard from the side. Some colonel off his own bat, which yeah. And we'll pop up here. We'll pop up the flag of Hanover here. There we are. Pop him up there. There you go. He's here now. Maybe the British flag comes back up. Because they're taking it over again. Yeah.
Or maybe the Prussian flag or Hanover flag. Or...
The Prussian flag there. More Prussians. Napoleon's men retreating as fast as they can. Napoleon, you must leave the battle, sire. Somebody comes and says that to him. Napoleon's men retreating away from Hougoumont. Turning over here. So you reckon Hougoumont held out for the whole of the battle, did it, Ollie?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. I expect the generals retreated last.
I think they abandoned their guns.
And look at this. And look at these. And these horses are taking the big gun back. Look, Dad.
What? Here they are, abandoning their guns. Hopefully to survive, not being mowed down by cavalry, who would be chasing after them.
How would the guns get back? Just turn these guns around.
Yeah, I think they abandoned their guns, but yeah, turn them around. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So let's. Oh, here's some old gold, but we've got them.
No, they're in the wrong place, aren't they?
Maybe let's put them in the square.
Some strange reason we've got Fireman Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about for peace. They are actually World War One French cavalry, but they look quite good as firemen, I think. This one here is supposed to be Officer Steele. Hello, my name is Officer Steele. Why am I in this Battle of Waterloo? I really don't know. Except, of course, I don't talk like that. Officer Steele talks like this, doesn't he? Hello, I don't know why I'm in the Battle of Waterloo. Hello. Oh. My name is Fireman Sam. And we're all so much better off living in peace and harmony. Global cooperation. Especially with all the fires we've been having this year in 2018. Oh, I'm Elvis. Don't know why I'm in the Battle of Waterloo either. But I've got my guitar. My Nellium extreme guitar, so it'll be alright. It doesn't matter if it gets wet. I'll play you a tune in a minute. Here we are. I think we should head back to Wales, don't you, Officer Steele? Yes, quite right, Fireman Sam. I think I've got a call here from Dizzy telling me that apparently her store is on fire. Oh no, don't tell me that naughty Norman's been up to his trouble again. Yes, I expect it is. I can just hear him now. Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've set fire to your store and everything's burnt down to the ground and we've got nowhere to live and nothing to eat anymore. What are we going to do, ma'am? Ma'am? Send for Fireman Sam. But, ma'am, he's gone off to the Battle of Waterloo. That's very inconvenient. I don't like that. How long is it going to take him to get back? How long is it going to take you to get back then? Well, it's a long way, I just hope. As long as the Channel Tunnel's open and maybe we can catch a ferry, we'll be back fairly soon. Don't you worry. But everything will be burnt to the ground by then. We'll have nothing to eat. Oh dear. I wish we lived in a nice stable world without all these terrible problems like battles and stuff. Oh, haven't they got something better to do, these funny people in their funny uniforms? Haven't they? And so what next, Ollie? What happened after... Oh, you've got the squares all set up.
Quite big ones as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in the squares, they refused to surrender.
Really didn't? No,
Yeah, in the battle.
Well, they might.
But we're not going to film that bit because it's all a bit gruesome, isn't it? So... There is Cambron. Wasn't his name Cambon or Cambron? There's a statue to him somewhere in France.
And
they say he said a naughty word, but apparently before he died, he said he didn't say that. But I think there was something to do with the old guard will die rather than surrender, which was something like La garde ne se ronde pas, mais préfère mûr or something. No. La garde meurt, mais ne se ronde pas. Something like that. Okay. That was the old guard. And some of them, we got snow on their feet, haven't we? They'd been in Russia in 1812. And there's Wellington saying something like, golly gosh, wasn't it a close run thing? We actually haven't had to even use the really heavy cavalry, the Carthaginian war elephants.
Because they didn't really...
They weren't really there, were they? Carthaginian war elephants.
Well, they're still going to charge.
Oh, they're going to get a bit of a go to have a bit of a run now.
Yeah, they haven't had
Here they come. Yeah.
They haven't had exercise for them.
Yeah, they haven't had any exercise. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. And, yeah.
These people...
This chap with his Jackson Pollock Union Jack. he's turning around now and shooting off down there. He is actually Bengal Lancer, and we have another Bengal Lancer here. These were from about the 1850s.
Britain wasn't fighting France for more than a year. For more than a century, I mean.
Oh yeah, right. Here you see.
I expect Waterloo was the
But-
last time France ever fought Britain.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. We're all friends now.
And now
Thanks to
there's
Bretton
no
Woods
emperor.
and stable currencies. Yeah.
Can we stop talking about we're supposed to be doing the movie?
Oh, that's and there are the old Scots Greys. They did actually probably frighten Napoleon quite a lot by attacking those guns, and maybe they discouraged Napoleon from the idea of bringing guns down to blast away at La Haye Saint and Hougoumont. Because you could imagine, I suppose, if they'd brought
There
those...
was another farmhouse, but the French didn't bother to attack them.
Not so much, no. But if you can imagine, if they'd brought big guns down, you know, right in front, you know, like this, right in front of those farmhouses, if they'd done that, you can imagine, you know, brought them down at close range, supported by infantry, blasted down, you know, they could have probably, but I think some historian somewhere might be able to sort of tell us by, you know, how thick are the walls of these farmhouses and what would have been the effect of, say, 10 cannon firing massive great cannonballs every, 10, 15 seconds? It didn't take them that long to load those guns, did it? You know, what about the guns on Victory? They were firing every sort of 90 seconds, weren't they?
Well,
You know.
we've passed Victory now.
Yeah, so a minute and a half, you know, so more like every 3 minutes a kind of 10 big cannonballs were coming flying against the walls of those farmhouses, you'd have thought.
I
That
expect
wouldn't have been very pleasant.
The minions haven't had a go at anything yet.
Yeah. Well, let's change the results of the battle a bit. The minions and Farmer Sam and everybody said, "Oh, it was very silly for you to do fighting. Let's all have a lovely party instead." Okay? Alright, we've got most of the stuff from the battle covered there.
Napoleon's army in Paris, I expect they would have been completely quiet after that.
Yeah, but Napoleon escapes to his ship, doesn't he? And he goes
Because
off.
everybody hates him in France.
Yeah, because he lost the battle and he escaped to a ship. Where is he? There he is. He escapes to his ship and disappears.
For
Off
good.
to good, yeah. Eventually he appeals to the Prince Regent. And then he's off to where? St. Helena.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Atlantic. Okay, thank you very much. We hope you have enjoyed the video.
Or maybe loads of videos joined up into one.
Yeah.
But we haven't finished the movie.